I cannot believe how much this crypto's pumped in the last 5 days. There's somebody who put $25 or $27 into it, now is sitting on $700,000. And I'm not making this video to kind of amaze people, because crypto, you know, it can do anything to somebody. It can change someone's life, essentially. But in this video, you're going to find out exactly what to look for when you look at crypto projects, because if you really find one and you hold it, it can change your life. So in this video, I'm going to explain that. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And this is why I am really cautious about sharing projects on my YouTube channel. Because at the end of the day, you don't know, it's your decision. You don't know whether to invest in a project now or leave it for later, or if it's a scam or if it's not. So that's why I'm making this channel more about how I can lead you to drink. In other words, how I can help you find the gold. Because if I point at the gold and then you're too late, or you're hesitant, or you know, you decide to counter my argument about whether it's legit or not, then I'm gonna look like a charlatan. So that's why I'm not gonna tell you any crypto. Anything in this video is not financial advice. It's just literally showing you examples and how you can learn from it. So in the case of this video, Pepe, you can just look at the project and think, oh, why did it pump in 5 days? Well, let me just start with this. The best thing to think about when it comes to crypto projects is literally to look at who is part of the team. And so I'm going to write here people, because at the end of the day, anything in life is always created because of people. You know, roads, cars, houses, you know, the phone that you're using, it's created by people. And these projects, they're all created by people. And it's the team that drive the project forward. If people realize that a team is good, what's going to happen is they're going to trust in the team. So in crypto and in anything, to be honest, you look at the banks right now. Why are the banks so... why are bankers so wealthy? Why do people keep money in banks? It's because they put their trust into a bank. Crypto is all about trust as well. You'll find out from this channel, it's all about trust. If you trust a project, a group of people, they have your money. You will put money into it. And when certain amount of people put their trust into a project, what happens is you get people who will hold. So that's what you need to look out for in a project. The top wallets in a project, for example, even in Bitcoin, is held by a certain few people. That's what keeps Bitcoin so high and valuable, because people that bought in at the start, there's some people that sold for a few dollars. RIP, I'd say to that. Really terrible to find out that you sold Bitcoin early and now it's at 30k or whatever it's at now. The reason why it's high is because people decided to hold. The reason why crypto continues to prosper and continues to make people rich, or whatever, however you want to look at it, continues to develop the technology, is because of the trust, people start to hold. So as you're looking through the projects, what I want you to look at is the top holders. This is very important. Looking at the top holders who hold the coin, because if those top holders decide to hold for a long enough time, and you know, the project continues to work in people's favor, the project will carry on no matter what. But if those top holders are people who want quick profit, don't put your money into it. You're gonna really fail, and you're gonna lose money, because what's gonna happen is there's gonna be, say the project's going well, it's going well, then somebody randomly decides to drain the wallet. It's gonna cause an effect where everybody starts selling because the trust is lost. So people is number one, in my opinion. That's teams and that's holders. Remember, if you've got a great team and you've got great holders, people who don't want to settle for a quick buck, but they want to actually see the project thrive. So in the case of Pepe, if the people decide to hold, because I know there's a few people that hold $1 million, as I've said at the start of this video, if they drain one of the wallets, the coin will go very low. because people want to take the profits. Obviously, there'll be a jump here, but it's not enough. It's not enough to basically make sure that that dip is eaten, so to speak. So what's going to happen is it'll go to here, and then the people that have a lot of money in it, they'll be like, I should have sold here. So they're going to sell here, and it's just going to continue to go down. So that's why top holders are so important. You want people who have big wallets. You want people who are in the game for 5 to 10 years. Why? Because they're not settling for a little bit. They're settling for, you know, life-changing money. That's what I'd say. And the next thing you need to look out for, we got people. I think this is the second most important thing when it comes to crypto. It's something called narrative. You hear this a lot. Spell narrative. You hear this a lot in, you know, crypto Twitter. You see it on Telegram a lot. You see people talk about narratives. Let me give you some narratives that are really, really important. Dogecoin. What's the narrative? It's the first meme coin in the crypto space. Elon Musk has bought a lot, and Elon Musk is driving the price up, and he loves that crypto. Also, another narrative about Dogecoin is the people who created it left the project, and now it's in the hands of somebody else. So now it's like a community sort of driven project. So that's a strong narrative. If a person who is the richest person in the world who wants to go on Mars is pushing a coin, he's gonna push it quite hard, and he owns Twitter. So he owns the whole crypto sort of media in a sense. So that's a good narrative. What about Shiba Inu? You know, there was a substantial amount of Shiba donated during COVID, and Vitalik Buterin sent Shiba to India, to people in India. So that's a strong narrative because that's the founder of Ethereum. So yeah, if a narrative is powerful and it's strong and it's something that people that can grow as a story, because remember, stories sell. Projects, they will go do well if the story sells. So when you see like people talking about when marketing, it's not necessarily about marketing a crypto project. It's about how good the story is. If you have a good story, people buy into it. And the story of Bitcoin is the first ever crypto that's been ever created, and it's the first sort of medium of exchange where you didn't need to use money to exchange the crypto, to exchange a pizza for the Bitcoins, however many Bitcoins was sold at that time. Another RIP moment. But you're gonna notice in crypto there's a lot of RIP moments. But if you figure out these two, people and narrative, so I'm gonna draw like a little sunshine and some hills. It's kind of like a hill hills and a person. So it's kind of like, what's the storyline behind it? Who's the protagonist? Who's the hero? Who's you know, how is the project being delivered in a very, you know, interesting way? So that's that. Narrative is super important, but what's more important is the people. The very first time I made my first win in crypto was through a coin that had that was about a goose, believe it or not. Yeah, stupid, but it was basically after a coin that did well called Dogebonk. So Dogebonk had an amazing team, and it went crazy. It was the first meme coin that went into space. So they actually put a picture of a Doge, flew it into space. So it actually happened. So now there's a strong narrative because first there's Dogebonk, what goes next? Goose, honk. So it's kind of like, oh, this could be the next Dogebonk. So then that's why I held it. That's why I had like 2 or 3 wallets, massive wallets in it, because I realized there was a narrative to it, and then people will buy into that, and then there'll be more and more people buying it, etc, etc. Now, the third one, I would say, which is not as strong as these two, but it's important, especially if you're looking at smaller projects or even the big projects. Like, this is important. And I'm going to say something called tokenomics, which is basically really important because it's kind of like, how does the crypto work in another way? It basically means, what's the buying tax, sell? So every time buy tax, sell tax, every time you buy the crypto, somebody buys it, a portion of it is going to go into the team. So that's why the team is very important. Another portion is going to go into increasing the price of the coin by its inflationary or deflationary aspect. So that's all tokenomics. So it's how good the project is structured in respect to the holders and the team. And yeah, so if it's a crazy buy tax and sell tax, say 25%, no one's going to buy it because nobody wants to be taxed that much. Because if they're taxed 20%, 25%, they're not going to have time to take profits. So you got to think about that. And also, is it a new tax structure that's not been used before? If it is a new one, then you're in luck. You know, if it's a new one, then people are going to be like, when there was this, I think it's called Evergrow, that was the first tax structure that involved sort of the price keeps on going up and it creates a new price floor every time. So that was an interesting new aspect to a tax structure that was not used before. So tokenomics, and yeah, I think that's enough. If you work out these three, and remember, I'm going to leave this video with this. Finding the perfect meme coin is like finding the perfect wife. Why do I say this? Because in crypto, in stocks, there's a phrase going around, it's marrying your bags. A lot of the time, you're going to lose money or make substantial money by the whole aspect of marrying your bags, which basically means you've become so emotionally connected to it that you cannot sell it, that you're just holding on to the bags. And that's why a lot of people lose money, especially losing money. But if you want to win big, and if you want to find something that's going to change your life, you need to essentially marry your bags, and you need to realize that that is the only thing I'm focused on, and I'm going to hold it until my target, until it reaches 100 million market cap like Pepe did. And for that to happen, I'm going to tell you the truth. All these three need to align. If these three don't align, if you've got a person that you don't trust, that you think's a scammer, it's never, ever, ever gonna moon, because it's just a broken, it's just, you can't, it's just a broken system. You can't fix a system that's broken. If the top holders are people who you know are not whales, or people who just want to make a quick profit, it is not gonna work. If the narrative is weak, or if there's something that's not quite right in the storyline, it's not going to moon. If the tokenomics are not right, it's not going to moon. So a narrative can come in many forms. It could be like, oh, you know, they've got coinmarket and then they're going to be listed on a big exchange. So it doesn't have to be like a narrative in the sense of a story, but that is still a story in a sense. So I'm going to leave you with this. Make sure that all these aspects line up. And there's probably a few more I'll explain in different videos. But the reason I made this video was because the very first video I made on YouTube, which was how to find 100 to 1000 X meme coins, which will be here, and you can watch that, was basically how to find the coins. But that's not important because it's so anyone can do that. What not many people can do is shut off their emotions and essentially work out logically if these three align, and then only then switch on your emotions and be like, I'm emotionally connected to this project, I'm never selling it. Because there was a time when Shiba Inu, you put $1,000 into it in the launch, and then your $1,000 was like $2 the following month or weeks. And that really tested a person's character and how emotionally connected they were to the project. Because then it's like, oh, I've just lost all my money, what's the point? Or the people that bought at the start, it went to $2. Imagine how many people put another $1,000 in when it was at zero. And then they became like, you know, they had like 80 million, you know, when it goes up to the top. So they're the things that you need to think about. So all in all, make sure everything is aligned, and then use your emotions, because if you start using your emotions first and you don't think about this, that's when you get wrecked, and that's when you lose all your money. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to this channel. I'm going to release some new content every few days. I want to really get this channel going. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. All the best, and I hope you make it.